Thank you, thank you. So yeah, this isn't my first time up on stage. It's my first time doing stand-up though, so yeah, understand if I'm a little bit nervous. Yeah, I used to be in a death metal band, and I was in that for 5 years, and it was a lot of fun. There were a few things I didn't like about it though. For instance, I never really felt like I belonged. For a start, I liked to change shirt every day. And I also enjoy the company of women, so that genre just had to die. I couldn't really do it. But one thing I really did love about death metal was I could get up on stage and I could stare the crowd down like this and I could say, "Welcome to hell! Prepare to die, motherfuckers!" And 40 minutes later, everyone would clap. And that gives me a lot of hope for my first time doing stand-up comedy. Anyway, yeah, so we're a pretty young audience tonight, being at a university. I should have figured that out quite quickly. And, they call us Generation Y. And when the newscasters are talking about us, it normally sounds like they're asking a question. Generation Y, are you doing this? And they've established through their market research that we love technology and we love sex. Okay? And we love sex in our technology and technology in our sex. And we love putting our dicks in vacuum cleaners. Maybe that's just me. Anyway, I think that we've made all these advancements, like our grandparents, they put people in space, which is pretty cool. But we've sent people back in time to the Stone Age. It's called online dating. I was looking over at a female friend's Tinder the other night, and I've been able to create a haiku out of the female online dating experience. Hey, how's your day been? I really like your pictures. I want to fuck you. Thousands of years of chivalry, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what we are working with. But I have these friends, and they say to me, Jake, why aren't I going well on Tinder? Why aren't the supermodels matching with me? I don't understand why they're not jumping on my dick. And I say to them, well, for starters, they found me first. But then I get to thinking, I look at their profile and I go, it's because you're not putting any fucking effort in. And what's more, there's probably a whole bunch of really interesting guys out there that they've run into. And again, I looked over at this girl's profile and she just matched with this person. But it wasn't a person. It was a Holden Commodore with a rear spoiler, and the license plate just said DTF 469. I mean, if Transformers are after Earth's women, we're fucked. But, sex and information and technology, it's one of the biggest tragedies of our generation that more than half of the information on the internet is pornography. And one of the greatest achievements of humanity has been finding a way to make half of that shit free. And, all this free porn that we've got and all this stuff that we can do with it, there's about one thing you can do with it, but anyway, it makes you multitask in really, really weird ways. I don't know if you've experienced this yourself, but I can't ejaculate now unless I'm doing my tax return and watching cat videos. And yeah, so we're obsessed with sex, but in a way we're also really naive about it. And we're really naive, and I think that's the only rational explanation as to why 50 Shades of Grey has sold more books than the fucking Bible, and now has enough money to afford its own island. I wouldn't go there. And they're making a movie out of it as well, so illiterate people can enjoy the sex. I don't know, but I think I could do better. Okay? I think I could write a better book. Send me to Thailand, give me 2 weeks, and I'll write you the seediest, most depraved sex book ever. Give me an extra $5 and I make sure that it has a happy ending. And do you think a lot of that kinky shit, it was an accident the first time? I mean, like, there's a guy in his kitchen and he's eating a rock melon and he's naked and he kind of just falls into it. I think it's funny to think about. I think if we were all nudists, that kind of thing would happen all the time. It would be a good tagline for a nature camp. Nudist Central. fun by misadventure. And I think that being nudist, there'd be a few other hidden perks as well. For instance, we'd go to the Cloves Beach. And another thing, you'd be able to sit in your office chair, and if your boss was grilling you at work, he's going, "Where are those tax returns? I'm hungry at you." You could just kind of turn in your chair, and you could look at him, and then you could look down. And then get fired. One thing that wouldn't change about this nudist society that I'm creating is naked selfies would still be a thing. And anyway, and I don't really understand it myself. I mean, I love to talk about my above average penis as much as the next man, but I don't feel the need to share it with everyone. And I think that this sharing of naked bodies and everything like that, it comes from that kind of, roided up gym generation. We want to show off all the muscles that got bigger with the steroids and all the muscles that got a little bit smaller with the steroids. And it's this kind of alpha male mentality. And you know what I mean by alpha male? I mean, like, you want to be in your group of friends as a guy, you want to be like the top dog. You want to be the coolest guy in that group. And I feel like it happens to me sometimes. I'll be at a party, and all my friends, they'll be sort of like over on the other side of the room, and they'll be getting drunk, and they'll be having a great time. There'll be girls all around them. They're all having a blast. And I'm just kind of standing back as the alpha male, of course. And I'm kind of just there on my own. And I'm kind of like just smoking my cigarette while it's raining outside. And I think to myself, yeah, you have your fun, underlings. I'll let you. Yeah. Anyway, so I think we're in a bit of an alpha male society now, and it's kind of gotten to the governmental level. There's been a bit of talk about that tonight already, but there's been a lot of talk online about the budget and about a potential new skirmish in the Middle East, and I wish that was the punchline for a joke. And another thing that they're talking about is cracking down on online piracy, and that's got me really worried, and it's got a lot of other people who download their TV really worried. And we're downloading anything that's not nailed down. For instance, I just downloaded the first season of Power Rangers just so I wouldn't have to buy it on VHS. And I think that the guys who are running the government, they don't really get it. I mean, it's this weird double standard where they lived at a time where they had free TV, and their ads would have gone for like 2-3 minutes tops, right? And they had really good shows. I mean, they had Star Trek, and they had MASH, and help me out here, Star Trek, and they're telling me now, as a taxpayer or as a tax benefit receiver, that I can't download Game of Thrones, which is a $6 million an episode, for free. Fuck them, hypocrites. Anyway, another thing they're talking about is this idea of free speech, and we remember our Attorney General decided that we have the right to be bigots in this country now, which is fuck him, okay? Anyone who doesn't have any empathy for their fellow human being, somebody who thinks that they can just step over people because they're bigger than them, I think we should send them on a boat. Or better yet, we should treat them like our registered sex offenders. So picture this, you're at home, you've just sent your kids off to school, and you're sitting there with your coffee, you hear a knock at the door. And you kind of go, okay, who's that? You open your door up, and there's this guy, and he's got a blue tie, and he's got his little glasses on that he wears, and he's bald, and he goes, "Good evening, sir or madam. I just moved into the neighbourhood, and I'm governmentally obligated to tell you that I am a massive cunt. And I'm also your member of parliament." Being the uni crowd, I've been here for 5 years, and I've noticed that we give the libs a pretty bad rap, I mean, two weeks ago, there was the lib store, and Tony Abbott's poster got stolen. And it got defaced with black texture, and it was very cruel. For instance, they only drew a small penis on his face. And, I think that, we need to give him a second look. I mean, besides the media smear campaign in the last election and the new budget and the volatile things about women and disadvantaged groups and the human rights abuses, I think that they're all lovely people deep down. No, I'm sorry, that's the punchline. Yeah. So I think that political correctness has come a long way, and it's a big thing now. And I think it's a good thing because I wouldn't want my personal suffering to be the butt of somebody's joke, and that's why I think it's great that we have poop jokes. I think we've demonstrated that tonight. There's people that have some fantastic poop jokes. I didn't think of any, but tell you, if you find me a time that poop jokes aren't funny, show me a time when they're not funny, and I'll show you a dead baby. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Jake Gillis, and you've been a terrific audience.